Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Online Darts Live League for Friday Night Live on Sporty Stuff TV. Thank you for your company this evening. We're really looking forward to tonight. We have 3 players already in our Saturday night finals, which will take place in exactly 24 hours. But we also have 3 places left to fill. And that is our job for this evening with our 5 players in Group B. But before we get there, let's talk to you about how the players have progressed in Group A and Group C. First and foremost, let's look at what happened on Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday of this week. Group A was very competitive indeed, but ultimately it was Ryan Furness who came through that group. Let's see how he did then. 22 points from a possible 30, a very solid effort from a player that we don't know a great deal about, but is starting to turn heads. Richie Burnett, Robert Thornton and Connor Scutt finished in 2nd, 3rd and 4th, and by virtue of those positions, they graduated to Group B, and you will see them tonight. As far as Scott Williams and Martin Adams are concerned, they finished in the bottom 2, so they graduated to Group C. And over the last couple of mornings, Group C has taken place with 5 matches per player yesterday morning and 5 matches per player this morning and into the early part of Friday afternoon. Let's have a little look to see how things happened in Group C, to see how the next 2 players would progress into the finals. And as you can see, Adams and Williams didn't make it. In fact, it was Sean Griffiths who topped the group with 14 points. 7 wins from a possible 10, and Mike Warburton just 1 win behind him with a solid campaign to make his way to the Champions Week finals. Scott Williams coming up a tiny bit short by just a few legs, but he did provide us with some great highlights towards the end of play, including a blind 180 and a 76 checkout with a double 18 double top conversion, which really was a highlight for the group. Niall Cullerton and Mike Gillett did finish at the bottom 2, so we won't see them again until maybe the next phase, but they did provide some highlights. As far as Group B is concerned, last night really was quite incredible. Really enjoyable stuff and a very high standard from this brilliant group of players, but it was Connor Scutt who finished at the top by just 1 leg, as you can see with the leg difference there. 6 points for him and 6 points for last night's statistical best player in Jim Williams. But everybody is still in the race tonight. 4 games each. It'll be really interesting to see how things materialise when they've played a couple of games tonight to see what kind of chance they have with 2 games to go. But we are going to see Jim Williams first up against Richie Burnett. I think tonight could be just as good as what we saw about 24 hours ago. So let's get a little glimpse as to who we're going to see in our first match tonight as you sit down, get comfortable and wait for your darting entertainment for Friday night live on Sporty Stuff TV. This is what you've got. You've got Jim Williams against Richie Burnett, an all-Welsh clash. And they are on opposite sides of the table. Williams in 2nd. And if he picks up a 2nd consecutive win against Richie Burnett, because he did win the last game of yesterday's session, he will go to the top of the table with 3 matches remaining. A 36-year-old from Pristine has a very, very bright future and a very solid foundation to his career, which may be just beginning. As far as the 54-year-old from the Valleys, the former world champion, as you can see, from 1995, he's looking for more success in the twilight of his career, which could include some more time on the Pro Tour. And if he doesn't have that, it might include a Senior World Championship, which is something that is starting in early 2022. He is eligible for that because he's over the age of 50, but if he qualifies for the Pro Tour via Q School in January, he won't be allowed to play.
Jim to throw first. Game on.
But let's focus on the now. Yesterday, Jim Williams was excellent.
45.
Yes, he did not finish top of the group. And he will wonder how, because his running average yesterday was over 100.
100.
The exact running average for him was 100.32. And a best individual performance of 103.37. He really was excellent.
140.
He had a very good checkout percentage as well of 41.94. And the only person to beat him last night was Robert Thornton. And you will see him in match 3 against Richie Burnett. As far as Richie's night is concerned, he's down in the bottom position in the table on leg difference.
180.
And he's going to have to play really well if he wants to get 2 points away from Jim Williams. That is a fact. It's not that Richie played poorly yesterday. He was made to look
21.
poor because everybody else played slightly better
Jimmy
than him.
require 136.
Treble 19 to leave tops.
58.
No such luck, but he has a very nice buffer of 202. Got to half the score to have any sort of chance.
100.
And he doesn't get into the finishing zone here.
Jimmy requires 78.
Single 20 for tops. He would love this single to be just left or right of the single. So what does he do? He hits the very middle portion of it.
38.
And he will be back for tops next time round. Jim Williams sporting the yellow and black. Very similar to what we saw from another Williams today. Scutt Williams, who just missed out on a place in the Champions League finals.
Jim, you require
But this time
40.
Jim cannot afford to miss with Richie on the same number. And
Game
Jim
shot
does
in the
not
first
miss.
leg.
It's a
Jim
solid
Williams.
17 dart start for him. He has the darts in this match. And I feel that if Burnett is going to get the result, he's going to have to start playing well immediately.
Second leg, it's Richie throwing first.
You just don't foresee Jim making big errors. He's playing too well right now.
100.
Just to reinforce what Jim has got in his immediate future. Playing as an amateur is something he's not going to be doing in 2022.
100.
Or indeed for the rest of this year. He has the Grand Slam of darts to look forward to and a place at the PDC World Championship for the very first time.
41.
He has played in BDO World Championships with some success. Without winning it, of course. But the Quiff now has 2 years on tour to prove himself at the very highest level.
100.
He has had a little bit of experience over the last year and a bit, playing against the world's elite, and he's held his own very well.
180.
And Burnett comes back with a maximum of his own. The second of this match. That's one each now. At this early stage, let me remind you that if you are having a flutter on any kind of match or
97.
stats from a game, be it the most 180s for a player, please remember to gamble responsibly this Friday night. Remember, it's for over 18s only, and begambleaware.org for more information.
100.
As the tension gets a little bit more palpable, watch out for the moves of Burnett. That follow through will be more accentuated. And he may look like he's been electric shocked.
65.
Oh, the dart took all the momentum there.
Richie, you require 80.
And it's cost him 60 points. Double top.
40.
Instead of having 79 here,
Jimmy
Jim
require
Williams has to find 3
139.
perfect darts. Not to be. Has to go south here, really. That's a mistake.
59.
Because by getting a single 20 there,
Richie, you
he
require
couldn't have
40.
left a double. With 3 darts in hand. He can only leave 80. Got to hit this.
Game
And
shot
he
in the
does
second
for an
leg.
18
Richie
darter.
Burnett.
So they are jousting with 6 visit wins at the early portion of this match. But I sense that things are about to improve.
Third leg, it's Jim to throw first. Game on.
And don't forget yesterday, this game included the biggest finish of the night. 161, which came from Jim Williams.
100.
And that was hit after Richie Burnett decided not to go for a 1-2-1 checkout. He hit a single 20, then he went for the 60 and laid up for double 16.
60.
And then Williams came in and hit the 161. I think it was that very famous sitcom Allo Allo that coined the phrase, "What a mistake to make."
100.
And interestingly enough, after that match, I spoke to Burnett and asked him why he didn't go for it. And he said, "I thought Jim was on 181. So that
60.
cleared that up. So it wasn't a tactical mistake. It was a visual error. The other players that you will see
97.
tonight, Connor Scutt, who is currently top of the table. He's up against Mark Webster in match 2. And then Robert Thornton, the final player, will join us in match 3 when he takes on this man,
100.
the Prince of Wales. Only 3 players can progress from this group to the Champions Week finals, which will take place live on Sporty Stuff TV from 10 p.m. tomorrow, local time.
100.
And don't forget that there are big bucks up for grabs. There are bonuses for just getting to tomorrow. But if you win the whole thing, £6,000.
55.
And both of these players know how to do
Jimmy
that
require 104.
because Richie Burnett won phase 2. Jim Williams won phase 3. They're both looking for their second phase win of the year. And Williams is looking at double 16,
Game
which he
shot in
finds
the
for a
third
15
leg.
darter.
Jim Williams.
And looks like he's been listening to me because things have just improved. A 5
Fourth
visit
leg,
leg for the
Richie to
first
throw
time in the
first.
match.
Game on.
Didn't make sense, that, did it? It looks like he's been listening. It sounds like he's been
100.
listening to me. But I assure you, he hasn't got an earpiece in. He won't be listening to our coverage. He'll be fully focused on the task here of winning 4 legs away from Richie, which would not only press home his advantage towards the top of the table,
140.
but it would make Richie Burnett need to win probably all of his remaining games to have a chance to come through this group. A win for Williams. He would get to 8 points.
140.
He would be 6 clear of Burnett, meaning that Burnett could only get to 8 points at best by the end of the evening.
93.
But the person who will post their score first is Richie Burnett. He finishes his campaign tonight in match 8, and the remaining 4 players will finish up in the 2 games that come after that.
59.
Let's see what Williams can do here, because you have to be smart here. Well, he's gone 18s first. 60 leaves the finish.
98.
And the 60 he gets. What's he going to do? Maximum or a 170 out?
145.
32. It would have done, but he gets the
Jimmy
25.
Reply, 170.
Tilly 57. Handily placed. And it's the 170 out that Jim Williams cannot take to give himself a 3-1 lead.
60. Richie,
So
you
this
require
one will remain
57.
close if Burnett converts here. Another 5-visit leg beckons.
Game
And
shot
that's
in the
what we
fourth
get.
leg, Richie
Gradual
Burnett.
improvement from Richie Burnett this time. He gets the best leg of the match so far with a 14 darter to have things level after 4.
Fifth leg, it's Jim to throw first. Game on.
It's been a big year for Welsh darts,
60.
and it's been a big week for a Welsh company, Winmore, who have released this new dartboard, which we're playing on this evening. The Winmore Blade 6 triple core carbon. The first time it's been used in competition
140.
over the last couple of days. And these boys have been really chomping at the bit to play on this board. And they've been giving it a bit of a hammering.
100.
Doesn't matter whether you've been playing for 30 to 40 years, like Richie Burnett has been doing, or whether you've just picked up the game this year. Everybody loves a new dartboard.
140.
Here's Richie reaching deep into that pocket to find a little bit of magic. If he can get the win against Jim, he may open up things in this group. And a win for Burnett would get him to
36.
4 points, level with Robert Thornton. And that would put Mark Webster on the foot of the table before he plays Connor Scutt next.
100.
Currently the averages are being bossed by Richie Burnett. He's on a 93. Jim on an 88. When they played yesterday, the averages
100.
were a lot higher. Burnett actually was at
Richie
89
Reply,
with Jim Williams for the match.
121.
102. Oh, he doesn't want to go for the 51 on approach. He'd rather go for the blocked bed.
55.
I can see what he was trying to do there. The 25 would have left a 2-darter, which is single to double. But by missing the 25, he's now got a slightly more difficult 2-darter.
105.
This is where things could change. A really
Richie
important
requires
moment in this match.
66.
Where does Burnett go with dart 1? You feel it should be treble 10. There's the 6. 60 more. Plenty of room above that one.
26.
Could he have his heart
Jimmy
shattered a
Reply,
little bit
100.
with this 100-point checkout? We've already seen 104 from Jim Williams, and he knows a thing or two about some plus checkouts this week so far. He had 3 in a match yesterday, and he
Game shot
has
in
a
the fifth
second
leg,
here
Jim Williams.
as he pinches that leg away from Richie Burnett with a clear and concise 102, and he takes the lead at 3-2.
Sixth leg, it's Richie to throw first. Game on.
The frustration you can see on the face of Burnett is evident. But you have to take ownership in spots like that. The reason why Jim Williams had that shot is because he missed.
140.
As human beings, we are conditioned within sport to find blame. If we can take the blame ourselves and say, yeah, it was my fault, you'll ultimately feel a little bit better.
139.
You don't want to be one of those dart players who constantly blames other people or other things.
100.
It's been a good game so far. Both are now averaging 91. The doubles have been excellent. 60% from Jim Williams. And 2 from 6
100.
for Richie. So 33%. That's competent. And it's very reminiscent of what he did all last night. Around the 33% mark. But it was the lowest percentage of the night.
100.
The highest checkout percentage belonged to Robert Thornton. And get your ears around this one. 52% for the night. And it was only good enough for 3rd place.
98.
The 2 players above him in the table both
Richie
had
require
41% for the night, which is very good. Should go bull.
65.
Takes the 25 off and leaves 2 darter
Jimmy
instead of a 3 darter.
64.
It's not going to be a 3rd ton plus checkout yet. Because if we go to a 7th leg, he will still have a possibility of a 3rd ton plus checkout.
58.
For the 2nd time in this group in a match.
Richie require 96.
Perfect. Double 18. And that miss on double 9 does give Jim Williams another shot at a ton plus out. And he will fear that the game is done.
Jimmy require 106.
Because this is what Jim Williams does. He's a poacher. Double 16 for 2 points at the top of the table. And he's done it once again.
And the match.
He is clinical on the outer ring when asked to do things like that. Yesterday, he hit 221 finishes in a row on double 14. He wasn't in that sort of mood tonight, but he still got 3 ton plus checkouts, and 67% with a 92 average is still a very high level of play. Real problems for Burnett in the table. We're going to take a short break, but when we come back, it's going to be Connor Scutt, who was top of the table before that one. He's up against Mark Webster, who has the same sort of problems as Richie Burnett. We'll be right back. Welcome back, darts fans, and it is the Online Darts Live League Group B, and we're going into match 2 for the night with Connor Scutt trying to bolster his challenge towards the top of the table, with Mark Webster having 4 matches tonight. He still has a chance, but has to start well. Good to see Webby in his red tonight. He'll be hoping that he needs another shirt for tomorrow.
First leg will be Connor throwing first. Game on.
But Connor Scutt, who started the night in top position, is now in second place after that win for Jim Williams.
140.
He's not under as much pressure as Mark is this evening.
40.
But if Webster can have a strong night, maybe pick up 3 wins from 4 and get himself to 8 points, that might be good enough to make his way through to the finals. But in his
97.
own mind, I think he knows to guarantee it, 4 wins from 4 is needed.
97.
If it is to be 8 points in the table with 3 wins tonight, he's going to need a couple of wins by a distance, because his leg difference currently sits at -3.
45.
On the flip side of that, Connor Scutt is at +4 with 4 more points in the table than Mark. And one of the reasons for that
43.
is because he beat Mark in game number 9 earlier this morning. The averages were somewhat
99.
perplexing, because Webster averaged a good 3 points more than Connor in their previous match. But if you look at the double stats,
58.
they do tell a story.
Connor require 120.
57% for this man in that game, and only 12 for Mark. Will his doubles be sharp once again?
Game shot.
There's
in the
your
first
answer.
leg. Connor
A beautiful first leg from Connor Scutt, who finds a Shanghai finish to start his challenge for the night.
Second leg, it's Mark to throw first.
Funnily enough, Connor yesterday averaged 91.76 for the night, 41% in his doubles, and it felt as if there was a lot more in the
100.
tank. That's really encouraging if you are a Connor fan.
$57.
He does have a very unusual setup with his darts. It's not something that you would normally associate
100.
with a bog standard setup. It's definitely very him. He's using a Simon Whitlock dart with a short stem and a kite flight. If I was
60.
using those, I'd struggle to get them to balance, but they work for Connor. Aside from that, it doesn't really matter, as long as they work for him.
60.
That's the thing about the setup. It's all a personal choice. It is fair to say as well that coming into yesterday's first night of this group, that Connor Scutt was seen as the underdog.
140.
Because he is the person this year has made inroads. That's true. But look at the reputation of all of his opponents in this group. We're talking about world champions, world trophy champions,
140.
world masters, and
Mark
PDC
require
major
101.
winners. And PDC Premier League participants as well. But he was the one who topped the lot yesterday. Can you just imagine what that did for his confidence overnight? And Webster missed the treble 10 there to leave himself on a handy double. He's going to be under pressure here, but maybe
80.
not as much as
Mark
he
require
thought.
17.
Double 8 to bring things level after 2.
One scored.
I think Mark has just taken his frustration out on a little insect in the air. 85 left. And he's not going to get a shot at double 14. So this time Mark gets a chance to take his frustration out on double 8.
No score.
He's got the wrong bed.
Connor, you require 41.
And Connor's on a freebie here. This is to break the throw as well. He needs double 16. And he can't find double 8.
Mark, you require 16.
Can he find it with the last start of this visit?
Yes,
he can. That will be a giant sigh of relief for Mark Webster, because he could have easily lost his throw in that leg. But as it stands, it's 1-1.
Third leg will be Connor to throw first. Game on.
Now, geographically, these two are a few hours apart. Mark very proudly from North Wales, the Denbigh area. Doesn't live that far away from famous footballer Michael Owen. Connor's down in Surrey, I believe.
140.
Home to many a great dart player over the years. When I think of Surrey dart players, I always go back to Dave Askew, the two-time PDC World Championship semi-finalist. And of course, Dave's son Jason, who, funnily enough,
59.
Doesn't look that dissimilar to Connor, currently holds the Online Darts Live League average record of over 118.
40.
Mark Webster is a very good analyst within the game. He's not just a fabulous player.
43.
But he's a very good in-depth analyst for certain sports networks.
119.
And he's a great commentator as well. Someone I've worked with in the past. And of course, he has commentated here in this very chair, making him the only person who has played
54.
in this year's Online Darts Live League and commentated on it.
17. 57.
Scutt not showing his hand here. He's not someone who shows a great deal of frustration in the room and on the hockey. He just gets on with it.
140.
He won't be bothered about not taking that 117 as long as he takes this 60 right here. Tops again for him. Oh no, that was not part of the plan.
28.
And Webster this time gets
65.
the opportunity to break. And he gobbles up that 65 with no hesitation. Doesn't even have to queue up for the tops. He takes it immediately. And the first break of throw in this match goes the way of North Wales.
Fourth leg, it's Mark to throw first. Game on.
As far as Mark's
99.
performance level yesterday, an average of 92 over his 4 matches, which is very, very competent. Only had the 1 ton plus out.
100.
But then again, nobody is touching Jim Williams in that category because he's got 7 now. 35% of the doubles. And that came down a lot with his last game against Connor yesterday because he was only 12%. The rest of the night, he was actually very good.
100.
He will feel very chipper about his chances if he can come through this one with a win.
43.
He's not playing at his highest level in this match, though. It's a bit of a slow start.
60.
And you have to say that about both players. Connor's a good 10 down on yesterday's accumulative average. And Mark is a little bit
99.
more down on that. But he's still in front. That's the perfect first start for Scutt.
100.
He's not able to get
Mark
more
to
than a
require
ton. That's a
160.
disappointment. Well, Webster does not want to leave the 20s.
100.
What a shot that is.
Can you require 141?
I'm not even sure how he got that in. But that genius start from Webster has given him a look at 60
101.
instead of 100.
60.
And it is for a 3-1 lead. Double 10. It's a big hit.
Shot in the fourth
He
round.
now has the
Mark
opportunity
Webster.
of winning this one by a margin. And because he is in 4th position in the table, he has a chance to fix not only his points, but his leg difference.
5th leg, it's Connor to throw first. Game on.
A 4-1 win with a break in this leg, and Webster would get to 4 points and a level
80.
leg difference, which would be exactly the same as 3rd placed Thornton.
$99.
Obviously, Thornton hasn't played yet, so he has a game in hand. And that next game between Thornton and Richie Burnett is always a match you want to watch.
140.
Because without looking at the head-to-head records, I'm pretty sure it's the 17th meeting between those two this year.
59.
I think it's the most played match of any couple of players all year.
60.
Webster's not going to leave a finish from here. You can't leave a finish from 3-4-3.
59.
Strangely, his average is a good 12 under that of Connor. And he's still 3-1 up.
45.
Just seems to be coming up dry on the trebles at the minute.
58.
And that will frustrate him. But don't underestimate the amount of experience that Mark has. He's been playing at a very high level for 15 years.
100.
He will be thinking that the next leg is his if he doesn't get it done in leg 5.
96.
He leaves
Hollywood
130, which is
76.
very gettable if given the opportunity. But you fancy this is going. And it
Game shot
is.
in the 5th leg.
76
Connor
out to
Scutt.
start his charge, and he knows a thing or two about comebacks. Don't forget that yesterday he was 3-0 down to Richie Burnett, and he still won.
6th leg, it's Mark to throw first.
So this is the biggest opportunity for Webster. To start the leg, to serve it out for a 4-2 win. But in this
60.
scenario, the person throwing first is under the most pressure.
45.
It's a funny old sport because you hear these people saying darts is on the day. I've heard that hundreds upon hundreds of times.
99.
And to a certain degree, yes, that's true. But it's how you prepare that stipulates how you play.
96.
It's not just what you do in the 2 or 3 hours before, but it's everything you do. It's about what you eat. It's about how you hydrate yourself. It's about how you clear your mind before you play.
134.
It's not just about flinging darts at a mat, as the great Sid Waddell would say it. It's about doing everything right.
76.
It's good from Webster. He's got a lead of 174. Is he going to get 6 darts from 110? The answer's yes.
93.
To get the job done and get a valuable second win of this group. Double top.
70.
Bends the wire somewhat with that last dart of that visit. But he has a guaranteed visit back to the oche to finish the job. And I will hang my hat on this statement.
82.
He has not played well in
Marks
this
require
game,
40.
but he could still win.
Game
And he has
shot
won
and the
by
match.
4 legs
Mark
to 2.
Webster.
So he inches towards the middle portion of the table, and his ambitions of still getting into the top 3 are very much alive. As you can see from the average, he did not play well, but he won't care because they don't put averages on the score sheet which give you extra points. You just get 2 points for the win, and that's exactly what he got. As we go into match number 3, Richie Burnett will have to cast aside his disappointment after losing to Jim Williams because he's up against his old pal, Robert Thornton, after the break. Welcome back to the Online Darts Live League. Tonight is going to decide who goes through to the Champions Week finals. We have 3 spaces available, and these 2 players would dearly love a win. It is the first match of the night for Robert Thornton and the second for Richie Burnett. There is the table, and Jim Williams is still at the top after that defeat for Connor Scutt against Mark Webster. So if Robert Thornton wants to bolster his position in the top 3, a win here would be great for him, but it would be cataclysmic for Richie Burnett.
First leg, it's Richie to throw first. Game on.
Let's just paint a little bit of a picture for you. If Richie does lose, he will have 2 matches left. One against Mark Webster and one against Connor Scutt. And the best he could do in the table would be 6 points. And that is exactly where Robert would be with 3 matches left. And Jim Williams is already better than 6 points. And Connor Scutt is on 6 points with 3 matches left. If Burnett does not win this match and the following 2, he's not going to get through, in my opinion. He's left himself with a lot to do.
100.
In previous groups, Richie Burnett has left himself with a lot to do. He's had to win on a streak towards the end of a group, and a lot of the time he has done enough to progress to a weekly final or to get a job done in a finals week. But I just sense that he's left himself with too much to do tonight. That's my feeling. 64 the bull. And with Robert on a 161, I guarantee you if he got that 60, he was going for the bull. He wasn't going to reject it this time after 64. What happened with Jim Williams yesterday.
Robert, you require 161.
A 161 is not going to go.
96. Richie requires 65.
Both on 65. And that leaves 56. What does he want to do? He was thinking about 20 for double 18. But he will be very glad that he chose the other option of 16 in tops because it's given him a 1-0 lead against his old pal Robert.
Second leg, it's Robert to throw first.
The 3 players waiting in the finals tomorrow night. Mike Warburton of Wales. And the 2 English lads, Ryan Furness, who won Group A, and Sean Griffiths, who won Group C. And I think even Sean would admit that he didn't even play that well in that group. The stats tell us that. But he's in the finals and he's got a chance.
100.
This is the 17th meeting of these 2 this year. Quite incredible that we never get sick of these 2 playing each other. Both over the age of 50. And if both of them do not qualify for the PDC Tour next year, they will be involved in the inaugural World Seniors event at the Circus Tavern in Purfleet.
100.
The first week of February.
Robert, you require 170.
Another for the bull. He doesn't want to go for it.
130.
Well, it is the right play. But he is denying all of our Sporty Stuff TV viewers a 170. And that's something that we didn't get last night.
135. Robert, you require 40.
Robert and tops usually go well together. But double 10 is found.
Robert,
there's just a little hint, not of aggression at the end of that leg from Robert, just motivation for himself, because he really wants to play tomorrow.
Third leg, it's Richie to throw first, game on.
But in order for him to play tomorrow, he has got to make some of his friends very miserable. Over the last 10 years or so, He's got to know Richie very well.
125.
He's got to know Mark Webster very well. Hasn't really been swimming in the same circles as Jim Williams or Connor Scutt over the last few years.
100.
But spend enough time on the dart circuit and you will make plenty of friends. And sometimes plenty of enemies.
125.
Richie Burnett's had a few scuffles on stage. Lest we forget that scuffle he had with Adrian Lewis at Minehead, where they had a real coming
60.
together. I myself once had a comical incident with Richie Burnett on the World Cup stage where we played each other in a singles match. Richie beat me, and we went to have a somewhat
59.
respectful embrace, and we ended up nutting each other, which was rather funny at the time, but it really hurt.
97.
It was not done out of malice, it was done out of bad timing. We can definitely laugh about it now, but I wasn't laughing at the time. Especially after I'd lost the
81.
match as well. Wow, that was a pure bounce out, wasn't it?
120.
Thunderous bounce out, but he finds himself on a 3-darter
Richie
anyway.
reply
Full credit to Robert for
111.
that. And he's going to get a look at it.
91.
Could he possibly take 124 and, of course,
79.
244 in 5 darts?
Robert, you require 124.
54 needed. And he knocks on next door's door,
52.
of course.
Rich, you require 32.
Double 16 for a 2-1 lead. He's clinging on by his fingertips in this group.
Game
And that
shot
helps
in the third
because
leg.
it gets him to the
Richie
halfway
Burnett.
point. Richie Burnett really is hanging on. He's only got 2 points in this group so far. And if he doesn't double his tally in this match, he is going home.
Fourth leg, it's Robert to throw first. Game on.
Only 8 group games per player
140.
in Group B. And you must say to yourself, to be safe, to be assured of a spot, you must get to double figures. You must get to 10 points, in my opinion.
59.
Get 8 points, and you've got a really good chance. But 6, and I'm not sure.
86. 38.
There is a lot of frustration and tension in that room this evening. And it's quite reminiscent of what we saw a little bit earlier today.
100.
Because I'm not going to sit here and say that this morning's session was brilliant, because it was only okay. There were lots of tense legs. There were a few tired players in there too who had played their 5th day in a row.
134.
But everybody gets a lie-in tomorrow,
135.
including these two. But will they have to come back? Don't forget about the possibility that both of these players might be eliminated
59.
tonight.
Robert, you require 40.
Because Webster started with a win. And
Game
this
shot
one
in the fourth
has
leg.
started
Robert
with 4
Thornton.
legs being shared. So double 10 has been kind to Robert Thornton so far. And we're going into a best-of-3 scenario from here.
Fifth leg, it's Richie to throw first.
Here's another scenario for you.
60.
Burnett wins here. He goes to 4 points. And that would put him level on points with Webster and his opponent in this match.
134.
The next game is Webster and Williams. It's a fascinating encounter.
100.
It was an amazing game yesterday. We'll talk more about that when it happens. But the average is currently in this one, 101 for Robert Thornton. 89
28.
for Richie Burnett. What is it about these games tonight where the averages are so different and the games are so tight?
$58.
One of the reasons why these players are so tense is because they want that
100.
opportunity of getting that £6,000 first prize tomorrow night. They've worked so hard to get here. First, they have to come through a qualifying week and a qualifying finals in that week. And then they have to
40.
qualify through this group to get to the finals of the Champions Week. They have to work a great deal just to get the opportunity for that £6,000.
97.
It's not like the PDC Pro Tour where you have to win one match and you get 500 quid. You have to work very hard to get the paycheck here. You have to put in the hard yards.
98.
That's a hands on your hips
Robert,
moment
you
there
require
for
142.
Richie Burnett. He might be about to go 3-2 behind.
86. Richie, you require 145.
But then again, he might be about to go ahead again. Double top.
105.
Thornton was shaking his head there, and he thought, as did Richie, that was going to
Robert,
get
you
hit.
require 56.
For the first time, Thornton is in for the break,
Game
and he
shot in
takes the
fifth
double
leg.
that
Robert
Richie Burnett has
Thornton.
just missed. And the pain on the face of Burnett that you saw on the miss for the 145 has just been magnified by that 56 out from the Scutt.
6 leg. It's Robert to throw first. Game on.
There you see in the background a forlorn South Walian dart player.
100.
All areas of Wales represented tonight. South Walian Richie Burnett. Mid Wales, I believe,
59.
for Jim Williams. And North Wales for Mark Webster. And it is, of course, another North Walian in Mike Warburton, who's already in the finals.
83.
He's from the famous town of Wrexham, which has been made more famous recently by the acquisition of the local football club by a Hollywood superstar. Robert is being very patient in the room here.
96.
Craving a 4-2 win. And if he gets it, he's going to be on 6 points. And +2 in leg difference. His position will be exactly the same as Connor Scutt.
60.
Funnily enough, the next match for Robert is against Connor.
100.
And it will be very apt if they're playing each other from the same position. Robert has played well in this game. He's had 4 scores of 140 or more, 11 ton-plus scores, 50% on the doubles. It's been a decent display without being spectacular. His average is 95. But when you look at the average of
59.
Burnett, he has been outplayed.
Robert, you require 118.
6 darts from here to get 2 valuable points. And Burnett will have 1 foot out the door in Champions Week.
28.
Now there is a visit that he will despise, because this game could change in the next 6 darts.
$41.
Since it's not going to change.
Robert, you require 90.
He's going 20s for double 15. And the game isn't over yet.
Richie, you require 146.
Now, which route does he want? Just isn't happening for Richie Burnett right now. The first dart is really letting him down.
$45. Robert, you require.
Does Robert want to go straight for the double 15? I think he does. Maybe I'm wrong. 10 for double 10.
Shot.
And I think that was a prudent
Robert
plan,
Thornton.
considering he'd already hit double 10 a couple of times in that match. He was the better player because you can see his doubles were better. He gave himself more opportunities via better scoring, and the 92.5 average is good enough to find his way to 6 points. And ideally, he will be in exactly the same position as Connor Scutt when they meet in a couple of games' time. Before we get there, we're going to have another all-Welsh clash, and that's Mark Webster, who is very much alive in the race, with Jim Williams atop the table. That's coming up right after this. Welcome back to the Online Darts Live League. I am Paul the Asset Nicholson, and it's an all-Welsh clash next as we see the table topper Jim Williams up against Mark Webster, whose challenge is very much alive and will be more so if he can find 2 points here. If Williams does find the win, he will be the first person to double figures in points and will find himself 4 points in front of second position. You can see that Thornton and Scutt have 6 points each, and their leg difference is identical. They will do battle next in match 5. But what will be the position of these guys?
Leg, it's Mark to throw first. Game on.
After this one. Webster did very well to craft a win against Connor Scutt in match 2. And he did so with the lowest average of the night so far. Proving that averages don't mean everything.
96.
I think all players who have now played one match, at least Burnett has played 2, could say they can play a little bit better.
100.
But maybe Webster is about to play a little bit better. First 180 of the match comes from his second visit.
$97.
Richie Burnett is in all sorts of bother. You fancy he has been eliminated. It's not mathematical right now, but he now needs everything to go his way.
58.
The best he can return in the table is 6 points. And he's going to have to win his last 2 matches against Mark Webster and Connor Scutt. And I just don't think 6 points is enough.
98. Mark, you require 167.
167 is exactly 1/3 of 501. And of course, the golden 9 darter is 3167s.
97.
It's never been seen. Maybe one day somebody will do it.
$130.
Big approach from Jim.
Requires 70.
With Webster sitting on 70. 20 in tops now.
31.
Bad last start. May have
Jimmy
slipped out of his hand.
72.
May have been just a poor shot. But it gives Jim Williams the opportunity of a break of throw in the first leg of this match. Double 16.
40.
Just misses out.
Mark, you require 39.
Double 16 for him. And he does
Game
find
shot in
it
the first leg.
for a hold
Mark
of throw
Webster.
in the first leg. Now, a hold of throw in this match yesterday was a bit of a novelty. And it was the best leg of the match. We'll talk about that a little bit more in a second.
Second leg, it's Jim to throw first. Game on.
This fixture yesterday, for me, was the best game of the night. It's easy for me to say that because Jim Williams averaged 102 and Webster 103.
140.
But ultimately, it was 6 breaks of throw in that match. Yes, 6 of them in 7 legs. And the last leg of the match
34.
was a hold of throw by Jim, and it was taken in 11 darts. And as it turned out, it was a king of the hockey performance from Jim Williams.
140.
Just a little explanation as to what king of the hockey is. It's getting the win, the most 180s, and the highest finish.
140.
And he ticked all 3 boxes. Even though his average was less than his opponent, which makes it even more impressive. Look at the concentration of those 2 points together. And it's terrific scoring from Jim.
$32. Jimmy require 87.
Multiple visits he has in the bank to take care of this 87. Just checks Mark's position. Knows that he doesn't have to go for 20 in bull. And the easy layup is used.
55.
That's the equivalent of being in a Formula 1 car
44.
in the home straight of a lap and
Jimmy
knowing that
required
nobody's behind you.
32.
Not yet, at least. Should be a decent guide. That one might be a hindrance.
Game
But it
shot in the
wasn't. It
second
was
leg.
very
Jim
much a
Williams.
friend. And we are now 1-1 in this match. And I am very much looking forward to the next chapter in this game because it could be a bit of a classic.
Third leg is Mark to throw first. Game on.
When certain players lock horns, fireworks fly.
83.
Now, it's not as good as yesterday so far, but it has potential.
97.
When I think about the best game that I've seen involving Jim Williams, it's probably a game that keeps him up at night. Because it was a quarter-final of a World Championship
51.
where he was 4-1 up in sets against Glenn Durrant. A good pal of his. And he ended up losing that quarter-final by 5-4.
140.
Since then he has grown as a player. He's gone on to win the World Darts Trophy.
134.
He did not win the BDO World Championship though. In its final setting at the Indigo at the
100.
O2 in January of 2020. He lost out to Wayne Warren, his fellow Welshman.
$93.
You never know.
Jimmy
If he picks
require
his form up,
164.
He might be a world champion by the end of the year in the PDC without a tour card. A tour card that's started anyway because he does have privileges for the next 2 years.
60. Mark, you require 140.
Wouldn't that be a story? 60 needed. 60 not
60.
found. So Williams, who has had a 104
Jimmy
tonight
require
already.
104.
In fact, in his first game tonight against Burnett, he had 3 ton plus checkouts in that match. So this would be for his 4th of the night. And his 8th of the group.
Game shot in
And
the
that's
third
exactly
leg.
what he gets.
Jim Williams.
2-1 up now after being 1-0 down. And it's another 104 checkout. The same route. And that double 16 is at his
Fourth leg,
mercy.
it's Jim to throw first. Game on.
Yes, let's just have a hypothetical situation to think about because I'm a bit of a daydreamer. I cover a lot of darts. And I watch more darts than your
54.
average bear. The 2018 World Championship that was won by Rob Cross, of course, was a Roy of the Rovers type story.
100.
Someone who had been on the tour for only 12 months and then picks up a first World Championship title. But imagine, just imagine this. Jim Williams doesn't have a tour card that has started yet.
93.
But imagine he goes to the World Championship as the Challenge Tour Order of Merit champion and wins the £500,000.
83.
What kind of a story would that print in the papers the next day? We are seeing people graduating from the Challenge Tour towards the Pro Tour and doing
59.
huge things now. Look at Rob Cross. Look at Ryan Searle. They've been in a
57.
final together very recently. That says to me that the Challenge Tour system works. But also, to bolster that point, this tournament works, because it's allowed a lot of the Challenge Tour players
60.
to get the vital match practice they really, really need.
$140.
Webster's not going to go quietly. And he's averaging better in this match than he was in his first one, which he won.
90.
Lovely bullseye on the end of there.
121.
To give himself a finish, which he will have a look at if, and now when, because Webster missed a 51 for the bull himself.
62. Jimmy require 145.
Richie Burnett missed this a little bit earlier tonight. Can he get all three? He's got the first two, and Webby can't look.
120.
And it's not another ton plus checkout.
59.
With Webster now on the 2 darter, he just wants to get level.
Game shot
And he
the
does
fourth
with a
leg.
very,
Mark
very good
Webster.
finish of 59. It's not just about the ton plus checkouts in this game. Sometimes you just want to take care of something like that to get level.
Fifth leg, it's Mark to throw first. Game on.
Shock horror, it is a break of throw. These guys know all about breaks of throw, of course. I've already mentioned that point.
129.
But the table is going to make for very interesting reading after the next
100.
match. And of course, after this one, Webster knows he's going to have to win at least 3 matches tonight to stand a
100.
chance of the top 3. 2 wins, and he only gets 6 points for the group. I don't think that's going to be enough. In fact, I'm very certain
60.
that's not going to be enough. He's going to have to win either this one or the next 2 to stand a chance. His current leg difference is -1,
60.
which isn't the end of the world. But the problem he has is that the 3 players above him in the table are all better off. So he has to beat the players that are above him.
99.
But the next match he has after this is against the person who we feel is eliminated, and that's Richie Burnett.
90.
He's got to make Richie Burnett feel even worse than he does right now. You've got to be merciless in this game.
$98. Mark, you require
Webster on
116.
throw has the better position. And he's got a treble, which leaves 59. And he's already taken 59 with 2 darts. And he does
Game
it
shot in
once
the fifth
again
leg.
with
Mark
almost
Webster.
identical shots. But this time, it's for a ton plus out. And he has shown Jim Williams a little bit of what he's been showing his opponents for the last couple of
Sixth leg,
nights.
it's Jim to throw first. Game on.
3-2 Webster. Good game so far, without being as explosive as yesterday's.
85.
It always looks to me, at the end of every visit for Jim Williams, like he's going to trip over. He does lean
96.
quite far forward when he throws. Just watch out for this little trip movement that he has after dart 3. Just part and parcel of what he does.
100.
It wasn't as pronounced there. Well, Williams is not the kind of guy to post all over social media.
81.
He's not someone who is all over Instagram. He doesn't give massive interviews. That's all well and good. But sometimes you need a player like Jim Williams,
59.
who calmly goes about his business and is silently deadly.
180.
But Webster is very deadly there and has given himself a look at 144 for the win.
60. Mark, you require 144.
He's got 6 darts from here as well to keep an unbeaten run for the night going.
60.
He will have wanted more than that. But if you want to feel better, Mark, just look at the fact that you're 3-2 up and you've got 84 to win.
58. Mark, you require 84.
Williams has not found his best stuff in this match. But double 11 will see a win for Webby.
62.
And the first match dart is missed.
Jimmy require 139.
He hasn't missed many darts at double in this match. In fact, that's only the second time.
59. Mark, you require
I don't suppose
22.
he's going to miss any more.
11.
He does miss all 3. What a chance.
Jim, you require
that
80.
has slipped by. Are we going to see another leg in this contest? It will depend on what Jim does with 60 and 2 darts. The angle is awkward. This has got to be really precise.
40.
It is not precise enough.
Mark, you require 11.
And after 4 missed darts for the match, Webster's got to find a small single first. He does. 2 more darts for the match. And it's now 6 missed for 2 points. 2 invaluable points.
40.
And if Williams takes this, what kind of damage has that done mentally for Webster going into leg 7? Double 10. And he misses
20.
it.
Mark, you require 8.
Match start number 7. The 8th one gets him there. And
Mark
8 points are
Webster.
banked for Mark Webster. But it is 6 points that he has in the table right now. It's not as good as we saw yesterday, but the averages are very flattened out, around 84 each. But the checkout percentages were blitzed by misses towards the end. But Webster doesn't care because he's won 2 from 2 tonight. As far as the next one is concerned, they are dead level in the table with 6 points each, and their leg difference is identical too. So that is about to change when we come back. Welcome back, everyone, and it is the Online Darts Live League for Friday evening. We are getting pretty close to the midnight hour, and we're getting very close to the halfway point in tonight's schedule. We've got two players now in Robert Thornton and Connor Scutt who can't be separated in the table. Second and third will do battle now, and things may be about to change. And by that I mean, one of these players might fall out of the top three.
It's Robert to throw first. Game on.
Mark Webster, who has won 2 from 2 tonight, could find himself in the top 3 without throwing a dart.
180.
And if we get the same sort of darts as we've seen in the previous 4 games, we might indeed get
60.
A 5th consecutive scoreline of 4 legs to 2. Because that's all we've got tonight. 4 matches, 4 games with a score of 4-2. And if someone does that in this match, Webster will be promoted to the top 3 before he plays Richie Burnett in match 6. But you caught a glimpse of the table
60.
there at the start. And Richie Burnett is 4 points adrift at the bottom with only 2 matches left. And when somebody gets to 8 points in this game, that means that Richie is not going to catch at least 2 of these people. And you sense it's not going to be long before Richie Burnett is eliminated.
Robert, you require 45.
2 180s in the first leg from Robert.
35.
He's going to have to go back to double 5 in a second after this hot start on the scoring.
$180.
3 180s in the first leg. We expect.
Game shot in the
and we get a 13 darter from Robert Thornton. So maybe this is the game where the fireworks will fly. When they played yesterday, it was shock horror. 4 legs to 2.
Second leg, it's Connor to throw first. Game on.
It was Connor who got the victory. But in his second game yesterday, and I try and decipher these patterns with certain players, Robert in his second game on Thursday night had his best performance. Is he about to have his best performance in his second game again? He's already beaten Burnett. I don't need to say the scoreline, because you know what the scorelines have been like tonight.
57.
But the early echelons of this game show that Thornton is in the mood.
123.
He is not missing much. If Connor doesn't keep up with Robert in the first 2 or 3 legs, Robert will be in the distance like a fueled nitrous oxide 10-second car. He is doing nothing wrong here. He might have caught a glimpse of his old pal Mervyn King's performance at the World Series of Darts finals tonight, where he demolished James Wade 6-0 with an average of over 115. Double 19.
Game shot in the second leg.
When Robert's in this mood, you just have to sit down, relax, and enjoy. 11 darter after a 13. He could be on for a record performance if he keeps this going. I love it when he's got that tunnel vision, that gumption, and no negativity. To coin a phrase that has been inherited by a lot of commentators over the last couple of years, my good friend Dan Dawson coined Robert Thornton as an all-time great. I couldn't agree more.
81.
I shared my first 2 ranking finals in the PDC with Robert Thornton. Do you have any idea how cool that is? And Connor Scutt is sharing an hockey with him right now when he's playing his top-level
58.
stuff. Consequently, Robert beat me in my first ranking final in Shoalhaven Heads, New South Wales. And then in Coogee Bay, New South Wales, 12 months later, I got my revenge.
100. 58.
Well, Robert's just taking his foot off
Connor,
the pedal a
you
little
require
bit here in leg 3.
121.
And Scutt, to his full credit, has scored brilliantly. Just going to lay up for double top.
81.
And he's now on a 13 darter, which is what Robert got in leg 1.
134.
Word to the wise, Connor.
Connor,
Don't
you
miss
require
this.
40.
I don't think he's going to. Double 5 for him.
35.
That could be a huge mistake.
Robert, you require 74.
Double 16.
42.
Oh, massive chance missed. As soon as he hits the treble 14,
you
he's
require
thinking
5.
3-0. Double 2.
Game
And
shot
that is
in
a
the
really
third
good
leg.
save in the
Connor
end
Scutt.
after dodging a bullet for Connor Scutt, because he could easily be looking at a 3-0 deficit, and now he's only 1 behind.
Fourth leg, it's Connor to throw first. Game on. $83.
There are a lot of new Connor Scutt fans out there, and over the last few weeks, since he made his debut here
100.
at the Online Darts Live League, he has gone on to do other things. He is going to represent England pretty soon for the first time. He's made some deep runs in some WDF events very recently.
100.
But I suppose the good thing for him right now, from a motivational perspective, is that he hasn't picked up that big win yet.
45.
He's had deep runs in Challenge Tour events. At WDF events in Wales and England recently, he's had deep runs there.
100.
He could well be facing a debut at the WDF World Championship in January.
100.
His initial goal is to make the Champions Week finals, though.
41.
You can't think about other challenges when you're here. You'll get found out.
$99.
And even though Connor is pretty much in command of this leg, because you would fancy he has 6 darts from 177, he's going to have to be super, super careful.
97. Robert, you require 150.
Just has to dodge this to get a shot. And he has dodged it.
59.
Must keep this game tight.
Connor, you require 80.
Great first start. That is a real perler of a 60. And that is not a good dart.
No score.
He has bust the lot.
Robert, you require
And we know Robert
98.
Thornton can take a 98 checker because he's already done it in this match. Is he going to do it again? He's not.
60.
He has missed 4 huge darts
Connor, you
at a
require
double in the last
80.
couple of legs. It's 80 once again. It's 1 dart at Robert's favourite. Oh!
60.
And it hits the flight, and it's luckily
Robert, you require
hit the 20
38.
instead of the 60. Double 8. And it's now 6
22.
missed darts at a double in the last couple of legs. He could have easily won this
Connor,
by
you
now,
require
Robert.
20.
And Connor could have bust 80 for a second time in a row with his last dart. But instead, he's got one more left at double five.
15.
And it's all getting a bit scrappy now.
Robert, you require 16. Game
And
shot.
Thornton gets over the line in leg four somehow. But the start of this match was blistering. It slowed down massively. And by a touch of fortune, Robert Thornton is within one of victory.
Fifth leg, it's Robert to throw first. Game on.
I say a touch of fortune. I meant to say a gigantic slice.
140. $140.
Well, if Connor can get out of this jam and come up with a win, he may be a magician.
83.
He has been outplayed most of this match. But it really should have been 2-2. He knows that. His throw tonight looks decent, but it seems to be lacking a bit of force. The darts aren't going in with as much punctuation as last night.
140.
And Thornton is not in a charitable mood. He wants to get to 8 points. And with a win by 4 legs to 1 or 4 legs to 2,
100.
Thornton, for the first time,
Robert,
will go to the top of the table.
90. Connie, you require 130.
This is to keep the match going. Great first start. But not a good second.
80.
That stopped him from getting
Robert,
a shot for the leg.
48.
And Thornton can't wait to try.
Game,
and try he
shot,
does.
And
he gets a 4-1
Robert
victory,
Thornton,
which vaults him to the top of the table. And he is now the man to catch. A 93 average from him, but early on, he was over 120 after 2 legs, so it came way down. But he doesn't care about that. 30% on the doubles is good enough, but only 1 hit from 9 for Connor Scutt. That is where the match was won and lost, in the middle portion. We're going to take a short break now, but that's 5 games down. We have 5 games to go. Richie Burnett and Mark Webster in an all-Welsh clash. That's what you'll get when we come back. welcome back to our coverage of Group B in Champions Week, and things are getting very interesting. The table, which we will show you now, reflects how things look at the halfway point of Night 2 in Group B. Burnett has been cut adrift on 2 points, but there is a caveat to that, which I will mention in a second. But Webster is now in the top 3 for the first time after winning 2 from 2 tonight.
First leg, it's Richie to throw first. Game on.
Okay, that caveat that I mentioned when it comes to Richie Burnett. He's not out yet. But he has got a leg difference of -8 and only 2 points.
140.
But I've just looked at our final 5 matches tonight. There is a scenario where he could still get through.
57.
He needs to beat Mark Webster now heavily. Not only does that improve his position, points-wise and leg difference-wise,
100.
it would almost plummet Mark's position as well. But you know that situation when someone is on the verge of relegation from the
100.
Premier League and they need to win their remaining games and they need other games to go their way? Well, unfortunately for Richie, he needs to win both of his games that he's got left, and he needs the other 2 results to go his way as well.
180.
So boiling it down, Richie needs to win here. He needs to beat Connor Scutt in match 8. He needs Robert Thornton to beat Mark Webster in match 9.
81.
And he needs Jim Williams to beat Connor Scutt in match 10. So of the 5 matches we've got left, he needs 4 to go his way. But all he can do is go for double 18 and hope on that occasion. Not meant to be a 12 darter, but he will take the 5 visit win.
93. Richie, you require 18.
And that is what he gets with a central
Richie
double 9.
Burnett.
So 1 down and 3 to go in this one. It is a 4-0 victory that he craves to try and get that leg difference better than it is right now.
Second leg, it's Mark to throw first. Game on.
3 players. And it is the 3 players in the top 3 positions in the table.
134.
Have got positive leg differences right now. The 2 in the bottom 2 have got negative leg differences. But here is what can change in a really quick group like this.
42.
Connor Scutt at the start of tonight was in the top spot. He's played 2 games and he's now in the bottom 2.
93.
You think he's a shoo-in to get through being top spot after Thursday, but now he's scrapping for his place in the top 3.
83.
You'll see him against Richie Burnett in match 8, and then he will take on Jim Williams in match 10.
43.
But as far as Webster is concerned, he's done a very good job tonight. He, like Thornton, has won 2 from 2.
140.
If it's 3 from 3, he will eliminate Richie Burnett and put himself on 8 points with Thornton and Williams,
57.
with 1 match to go against Robert Thornton. A smooth 140 there. No accentuated follow through there for Richie Burnett, which is a bit of a surprise at this time of night. It usually gets worse as the night goes on.
Richie,
Well, this is to double his lead with a break of throw. Where's he looking here? Treble 12 was an option. He's now got 64.
80.
That's a very good approach.
Mark, you require 76.
But Webster should get 1 dart at double top here. And does.
56.
Misses on the underside to give Richie Burnett the chance to break.
Richie requires 16. Game shot.
He hasn't got a win tonight, but he has got the break of throw there for a 2-0 lead. Is Richie Burnett going to get himself out of jail once again?
Third leg, it's Richie to throw first. Game on.
The amount of times I've sat in this seat and watched Burnett on a Friday night or a Friday during the day
140.
and seen him time his run to perfection to get through to a Saturday night, I've lost count.
180.
But Webster's not going to make it easy for him.
$121.
Well, for the time being, Richie Burnett is throwing really smoothly. Long may it continue.
58.
I'm sure Mark Webster doesn't feel that way. He wants Richie to be all over the place to give himself more of a chance of getting back into this match. Look at that. No kickback. No head snapping back. Just 2 treble visits every time he comes to the board in leg 3.
139.
It's a great leg from both players.
Richie, you require 100.
Can Richie take it in 11 or 12? He's going to do neither.
60. Mark, you require 124.
Webster averaging 92 to this point. Doesn't get a shot at the bullseye. And Burnett
58.
is in for a 3-0 lead potentially.
Richie, you require 40.
And he does take a 3-0 lead. This is a great performance from Richie Burnett because the average is very high. I don't like to say what the average is at this point because I don't want to put a hex on it.
Fourth leg, it's Mark throwing first.
But I'm going to tell you anyway because it's 107.
$100.
The best average so far in this group, 104.53. That came from Robert. That was when he played Jim Williams yesterday.
45.
There were plenty of ton plus averages yesterday, including quite a few in losing
60.
scenarios. And just imagine if Burnett does get the 4-0 win here.
140.
It's not just about what that would do for Richie's last gasp chances to get through this group. It's what it would do to Mark Webster's chances.
59.
It would obliterate all of the hard work he's done on his leg difference so far tonight. It would really damage his hopes.
97.
Webster's leg difference currently stands at +1, and if it goes down to -3, without throwing a dart, Connor Scutt would go back into the top 3.
180.
But a second 180 from Webster definitely helps in this scenario.
$59. Mark, you require 102.
Can he find the ton plus checkout to finish leg 4? There is a possibility
70.
of 4-0 because Richie Burnett on 160
Richie, you require 160.
to finish it in style. That's in. So is that. Is this one.
140.
Oh, he looked so relaxed on it.
24.
It's almost like he just expected to put it in. 666. And Webster
18.
misses to give Richie Burnett 3 more at a double.
Richie, you require 20.
For a 4-0 victory in the first one we get tonight,
Game,
and that is
shot,
exactly what it
and
is.
Burnett
Gets the ideal result for him to keep his very slim hopes alive. It is a great performance of 103.66, and 67% on the doubles. But Webster will have to win his last game, you feel, to stand a chance of coming through this group. We're going to take a short break, but when we come back, it's Robert Thornton against Jim Williams. 2 players towards the top of the table, and one of them is about to book their spot in Champions Week finals. Welcome back to the Online Darts Live League. We are just about to hit the midnight hour here in the UK, and one of the next players on the hockey, Williams or Thornton, are just about to book their spot in Saturday night's darts, where the big check is waiting. So let's go down to the hockey. Webster goes back to 4th position after that 4-0 defeat to Rich. Does not affect
50.
Richie Burnett's slim chances of getting a top 3 spot. He doesn't care who wins this match.
87.
He cares more about the next 3 matches. And he is the first person to complete his quarter of matches tonight in match 8, which comes
59.
next against Connor Scutt. These guys have got 2 matches left,
180.
but they would like to get the job done now. They'd like to play their last match with less stress.
$137. Robert,
It's
you
been a
require
very interesting
99.
group so far. And Thornton is looking to start in the same vein as he did against Connor.
59.
We've just had two very heavy defeats for Scutt and Webster. It's been 4-1 and 4-0 after 4 games that went 4-2.
59. Robert, you require 40.
Tops for Robert after 12.
Game shot
And
in
a
the first
13
leg.
dart start
Robert
is exactly
Thornton.
the same start that he got against Connor Scutt in his last match. And after that, he went on to plant an 11 in leg 2. Will he do it again?
Second leg, it's Jim to throw first. Game on.
Jim will be hoping not. It's fair to say that Jim has not played to the same level tonight as he did last night. He's not attained a ton plus average yet. In fact, the only person to have done so is Richie Burnett in the last
54.
match. But the one thing Jim has been doing very well are ton plus checkouts. He's got more than anybody by some stretch. Some stretch.
60. $81.
Of all the players in this group, the one that shows the most tenacity, you'd have to say it's Robert. He wears a chain around his neck with a golden dart on it.
134.
Now there is a man who loves the game of darts. Look at that chain around his neck.
55.
He's a bit like James Richardson in the respect that he still wears earrings and shows his love for the sport in different ways. The use of jewellery
59.
and things like that. Mark Walsh used to wear earrings as well. Bit of a fashion statement.
180.
And there is that tenacity to get himself in front and on a finish first. I think James Richardson has been tuning in today. I wonder if he's still watching.
58. Robert, you require 131.
51 first. Would have left 2 double tops. But Robert leaves
91.
1 single double top.
Jim, you require
If indeed he is given
130.
the chance. I said if. Double 5 for another ton plus checkout.
125.
That could be a huge miss
Robert, you
as
require
Robert
40.
steams towards the oche and finds
Game
double
shot
10
the
to
second
double
leg.
his lead.
Robert Thornton.
He now has a break in the bank and he is winning legs with very little coming from his opponents back at him. He is steaming towards Saturday night.
Third leg, it's Robert to throw first. Game on.
He is a player, of course, who has been playing all week long.
135.
He's never shied away from a challenge, that's for sure. But he didn't win Group A. He did pretty well in it. He came third. And by coming third in that group,
97.
it gave him the opportunity of playing in this group where 3 players go through it instead of 2 from Group C. That's the benefit. But Thornton maxes
180.
for a 3rd time in this match. And he is bossing it.
58.
You just wonder, what is Robert Thornton not only doing for himself, what's he doing for others as well? Because if he
40.
takes Jim Williams's leg difference down even more than it is right now, Mark Webster's going to like that.
100.
Webster
Robert,
will be
require
brimming
146.
with disappointment after losing 4-0 to Richie Burnett just now. But the one thing that might cheer him up over the next 5 minutes is a 4-0 win for Thornton. That will put Williams in striking distance for Webster. And if you think Jim Williams is safe, think again.
60.
He's
Robert,
not.
require 48.
Tops. And it's
Game shot in the
3-0
third
to
leg.
Thornton,
Robert
who is
Thornton.
now only one leg away from a guaranteed position in Saturday night for a shot at the £6,000 prize. This is a really bad game for the man from Prestine.
Fourth leg, it's Jim to throw first. Game on.
Let's just say that Thornton does win this leg.
57.
Thornton would go to 10 points and plus 9 in leg difference.
59.
Williams would go to 8 points and minus 1. That means a Connor Scutt win or a Mark Webster win in the next 2 matches would put
100.
Jim Williams out of the top 2 and in a position where he might have to win his last match just to qualify.
26.
He knows a thing or two about close calls in qualifying for a Saturday night because back in week 1, which he won,
140.
he only just got to the Saturday night by the skin of his teeth.
85.
He's only averaging 80 in this match so far. He's been shell-shocked by the brilliance of the Scott.
100.
He's coming up with a little bit more in leg 4. But here comes the Thorn. With a maximum.
180. Jimmy
His
required
4th of the match.
104.
And Williams hasn't got any. He's had 204 checkouts tonight. And he's not going to get another.
56.
This will be a hammer blow if it goes.
151.
51. Oh, so close to seeing a match dart.
131.
And Williams has got to defend this position or he's in trouble.
Jimmy required 48.
2 16s. You are
32.
now entitled to fear the
Robert, you
worst.
require 20.
Because it could be 4-0 again. Match start 3.
10.
Is not found. That was such
Jimmy
a
requires
freebie
16.
for Thornton to get this done. And he wasn't able to do it. Can Williams survive?
Game
He
shot
hits
in
with the
fourth
5th
leg.
dart
Jim Williams.
to win the 4th leg. Oh boy, this is really tight now. But he still has the possibility of winning this match if he can put 3 legs together.
5th leg, it's Robert to throw first.
It's unlikely, but not impossible.
84.
77 average for Jim
100.
Williams. That is a lot to do with 5 missed darts at double in that last leg. The Thornton average is well above 90.
104.
It's closer to 100, in fact, than it is to 90. And that last visit was his first 140 of the match.
85. 35.
There's something rather beautiful about watching Robert Thornton when he's in this kind of mood. There's no head shaking going on. He looks focused. He looks motivated. He won't like that.
180.
First maximum of the match for Jim. Is it another for Robert?
140.
No, it's a second 140,
Jimmy
which gets him
136.
to an easier ton plus out. Hang about. Beautifully done. How good was that from Jim Williams?
Jim Williams.
180 followed by a 136 out. That's world-class darts. And look at the nod of approval from Robert Thornton. I echo that, Robert, because that was world-class from a world-class player.
$57.
Every now and again, world-class players just prove how good they are. And Jim's just done that.
100.
If he hadn't proven it enough over the last couple of days, of course. It's not his biggest ton plus out. But he has got so much more in the way of ton plus finishes than anybody else. It's
57.
not even funny. If you play 8 matches in this group, you might pick off... You'd
60.
probably be happy with 4 or 5. But how about Jim doubling that? And he's not even done yet. He's still got another half of this match to go. And another game to go in match 10.
100.
For me, that's his biggest strength. At least it is this week.
100.
You just don't know how valuable the last 2 legs are going to be for his leg difference. If he goes through tonight on leg difference, it could well be because of what's happened
100.
in leg 4 and 5 in this match. He should have been beaten by 4 legs to 0.
40.
But don't underestimate the possibility that he might still win this match from 3-0 down. He's playing the better darts now.
97.
I'm not going to lie, I thought it was over. But my attitude right now is that I think we're going to leg 7.
90.
Another 20 for a shot at the bull. I think he's got the 60.
Game shot.
We know he's got the double 5, and the referee confirms that Jim Williams has now won 3 on the bounce. What a game this has been. It has been the best game of the night so far, and one question remains. How will it end?
7th and final leg. It's Robert to throw first.
The Thornton average has come down to 94. The Williams average has gone up to 84.
140.
But it's all tied. The winner of this leg is through.
$60.
And then at the conclusion of this leg, we turn our attention once again to the Richie Burnett saga.
131.
Superb from the man we call Chocolate.
$100.
He's melted over the last 3 legs. But he's tempered himself brilliantly in leg 7.
41.
He comes up with a bit of a bad visit there. Maybe a tiny bit of hope for Jim. If he can max here, he will be on a finish first. We've had 5 maximums in this match. 4 from Robert and 1 from Jim.
140.
That's his second 140 of this contest. To get back in touch. Not for long. Not for long.
165.
He's already had 3 match darts. That was in leg 4. Seems like an eternity ago. He's going to get 3 more.
105. Robert, you require 24.
Double 6.
game.
And there it is.
And the
Robert
match.
Thornton
Robert
will take
Thornton.
part in the Saturday night finals. It's just a matter of time, maybe, to see whether Jim Williams joins him. But the fight from him, it was a great match. But ultimately, Robert was the better player over the course of the 7-leg match. Robert has one match left to figure out whether he can top the group. He might just do so, but Jim will finish his campaign in match 10 against Connor Scutt a little bit later on. We're going to see the last of Richie Burnett for Saturday morning next, but will we see him on Saturday night? The next 3 matches will tell us that tale, but match 8 is coming up after the break. Welcome back to the Online Darts Live League for early Saturday morning. And we have 3 matches left for your late night entertainment. Thanks for staying with us, you night owls. You're a crazy bunch, but I'm sure you love your darts and you will love, potentially, the next 3 matches. The first one will involve Connor Scutt and Richie Burnett. This table is intriguing. We thought that Richie Burnett was done. We didn't think he was done mathematically. We just thought it was highly unlikely that he was going to get through to the top 3. Even at bottom spot with 1 match to go, he still can make the top 3. I will detail how in a matter of seconds. But Connor Scutt, he knows if he wins against Burnett now, Richie Burnett is gone.
First leg will be Connor to throw first. Game on.
But Connor's record this week against Richie Burnett is not good. They have played 4 times over the last 4 days, and Richie has won 3 of them.
45.
And Connor's not having a good night. He has played twice and lost twice.
135.
His confidence, I am sure, is not at its prime high. And we know that Richie Burnett is very good at timing his runs to perfection in qualifying for a Saturday night. And he's just had his best performance of this group in beating Mark Webster 4-0. Oh, how much he would like to do that again. Because if he does, that's one of 3 things that need to happen for him to make the top 3. 1. Richie Burnett needs to win this match.
60.
The bigger the gap, the better it is. 2. He needs Robert Thornton to beat Mark Webster in the next match. 3. He needs Jim Williams to beat his opponent in this match come match 10. That way, Webster and Scutt are left on 6 points, and their leg difference would subsequently maybe be worse than Richie's if he's got 6 points himself.
60.
It's complex, but let's take it 1 game at a time. The first job is Burnett needs to win. So far, so good. Leaves himself on clickety-click when he comes back.
57.
No trouble for Connor.
Richie, you require
and
66.
Burnett could get the ideal start here with a break in leg 1. Double 18. He will not be pleased with that, but if he looks at Connor's score, he might feel a little bit better, because this is very, very difficult. He's going to come back for the 9. Is Richie now?
59.
If you can just polish this off, it'll be 1 down with 3 to go. Double 4.
Game shot.
And that is a solid job.
Richie Burnett.
The first break is found, but imagine if he can win by 4-0 again, and the pressure that would go on to Scutt and Webster afterwards.
Second leg, it's Richie to throw first.
It is a knockout scenario for Richie. He's come through these situations before, but this one for me, out of all of the situations he's been in, is the most unlikely.
$100.
Let's look at the results of those 4 matches over the last 4 days for these two, who have worked valiantly
82.
Since Monday morning. If they were to say to me right now that they're very tired, I wouldn't blame them. Their 5th session of darts since the start of play on Monday morning at 9:30. It's been a real slog for them.
93.
But they really do want to play in a 6th session of the week. 4-3 on Monday to Burnett. Tuesday and Wednesday, 4 legs to 1. But yesterday,
45.
it was Connor that won by 4 legs to 3.
$43.
He just looks a little flat tonight, does the 25-year-old from Surrey. Just because he is almost 30 years the junior of Richie Burnett does not make him immune
58.
to feeling a little bit jaded. This is a good play from 265. It was the right plan.
95.
It's worked out pretty well. Burnett's got to get back into that lipstick. He's got to put pressure on that 170 shot.
100.
And he does with a last start ton.
Connor, you require 170.
The standard tonight is not as good as Thursday night, it has to be said. But the tension in here
81.
is more than twice as thick.
Richie, you require 136.
We've seen this from Jim Williams in the last match. Could we get it from another Welshman? 88. Oh
Game
boy,
shot in his second
that
leg.
was not
Richie
just
Burnett.
as good. It was better, in my opinion. Look at the central nature of this 88. It was right smack in the middle. 2 games in a row, we get a 136 check
Connor
out.
to throw first. Game on.
And he has won now 6 legs on the bounce, has the Prince of Wales.
139.
And don't forget, he has a bit of a score to settle with Connor Scutt from yesterday, because that 4-3 loss that he suffered to Connor on Thursday night was after
140.
Richie was 3-0 up. If he converted that match instead of losing it,
98.
this could well be Richie Burnett throwing to qualify in this match without having to rely on results in the next 2 games.
140.
Now, don't get me wrong, Connor coming back into that match and winning it with a 127 on the bull, that was phenomenal. But it shouldn't have got that far. Richie missed 7 match starts.
100.
And any world-class player knows that when they miss 7 match darts, maybe they deserve to lose.
$60. Connor, you require 164.
He's going to go 19s for the 164. Another one of those would be handy. That would have been in the 57 if it wasn't for the previous dart.
96. Richie, you require 161.
Oh, a little runaway from the Yoki there. You don't see that very often.
$59.
This is the 25, so he's stuck on a
Connor, you
3-darter.
require 68.
Is Richie going to go 3-0 up again, or is Connor going to get within 1 with this dart?
Game shot in the third leg.
That was
Connor
one of the
Scutt.
best darts he's thrown all night long, and he's skipping along the Yoki, is Connor. Trying to up the pace here a little bit.
Fourth leg, it's Richie to throw first.
So we're not going to have the
Game
exact
on.
same scenario as yesterday. And maybe that's a good thing for Richie Burnett, psychologically.
$43.
Our referee Andy Walsh of Scottish descent. Any Scottish referee that says 43, they say it better than anybody in the world. 43.
41.
pretty sure we will have
60.
another Scottish referee tuning in tonight by the name of Anthony Dundas. I know that 2021 has not been the best year for you, Ant, but if you're watching, mate, we're all thinking about you, and we hope to see you soon.
41.
This is a very slow start to leg 4. Burnett on 398 has gotten away with it.
96.
He's not playing to the same level that he did in his third match of the night, where he averaged 103.66. In fact, he's only averaging 85.
59.
But when he's got to the double, he's been very good. Chooses not to go 18s first on 302. Because Connor
60.
Scutt is not scoring well in this fourth leg. Most dart players of this caliber would like to be on 161 and below after 9, not on 360.
100.
That's better. Here comes the Prince of Wales, the senior Prince of Wales, because in darts we've got 2 of them
140.
now. Young Louis Williams on the PDC Pro Tour has inherited the nickname that Richie's had since the 90s.
$65.
Well, Connor did the right thing there,
Richie,
going
you
for the
require
bullseye to try and leave
102.
170, because the 60 was blocked. 60 leaves double 4.
54.
He won't mind that as long as he takes 40 at the next time. And things are getting very interesting. This time it's a 25 to leave 130. And Connor Scutt is in serious trouble here.
Game shot.
Because he's now 3-1 down, and Burnett will have the opportunity of winning 4 legs to 1. And if he does that, he will finish up on 6 points with a leg difference of -1.
Fifth leg, it's Connor to throw first. Game on.
I say that because before this match began, that is the exact score in legs and points that Connor Scutt has now. That is, however, subject to change.
100.
It will change if Burnett wins this match. It does depend on the scoreline. But if it is 4-1 to Burnett,
140.
it will be -4 and 6 points for Scutt. And if he loses his last match, he is not going to qualify.
60.
And that will be a real upset, considering how well he did on Thursday. He's playing and scoring much better here in leg 5.
57.
He is first to a finish by quite some considerable distance. Burnett needs everything here.
100.
And that back leg is starting to kick
Connor,
out
you
a bit.
require 164. $60.
One more chance for Richie Burnett to put pressure on Connor's position. He does need another big treble. And this time he finds it. Connor's got company.
104.
Can he get his second leg? Where's he going to go? Oh, it's a big miss. And Richie Burnett can win this game with the next 3 darts.
101.
45 surely. Misses it. He's got 66 left. And he's left 41. And you would fancy that Connor's going to get a little closer.
24.
And Richie has not been able to manufacture a match start yet. And he's going to have to
Game shot
wait
is fifth leg.
until leg
Connor
6
Scutt.
at least to get that match shot. And the closer this game is, the better it is for Scutt and for Webster, because they're embroiled in a battle for that third spot with Richie.
Sixth leg, it's Richie to throw first. Game on.
At this point, towards the end of this group,
97.
I can hold my hands up and say I have no idea who is going to qualify of Scutt, Burnett and Webster. I just don't know.
140.
There is, of course, the slim possibility that even Jim Williams could suffer a spot in the bottom 2 and not qualify for Saturday night.
70.
He's been in the top 2 the entire time. What is happening in this game? All of a sudden, Connor Scutt's playing properly. He's doing exactly what he did to Richie yesterday. He's starting to take ownership of the game towards the end.
100.
He's not going to do it to Richie again, is he? With every dart he throws, it looks more likely.
140.
We might have to get some of the stat sheets out, because if they can't be separated on leg difference at the end of tonight's play,
140.
we might have to look at legs 1.
81.
Head-to-head records might come into it too. It does depend on this bullseye shot, though.
36.
And now, because of that miss, Burnett could get a match start
Richie
in leg 6.
94.
Well, Richie, it's up to you. Doesn't get a match start. Can't find a treble with the first 2 darts of that
54.
visit.
Connor, you require
And he has to
45.
dodge 2 leg-winning darts from Connor. It's double 16 to take us all the way. It's not in the way.
Game shot.
That one is in though,
leg.
and it's
Connor
3-3
Scutt.
again between these two. After Richie Burnett gets the better start, and you're thinking he's going to get a second victory of the night, but Connor Scutt brings it to leg 7. So let's go, gents.
Seventh and
Over
final
to
leg.
you.
It's Connor to throw first. Game on.
These two really do know how to bring the drama. And if Connor Scutt wins this leg,
81.
we know that Richie Burnett is not going to make the finals. And Richie will probably not want to see Connor for a considerable amount of time. And it's nothing personal, of course, but when somebody beats you twice in 2 days,
45.
from 3-0 down and 3-1 down, you'll be thinking, in the interminable words of Mervyn King, go away. I bet you he's thinking that right now, because unbelievably, that is the first maximum of this match.
$83.
You just sense that Connor Scutt is going to do it again.
$140.
Where has he found this from? He lost his first 2 games, 4-2 to Webster, 4-1 to Thornton.
134.
He was 3-1 down in this one.
Connor, you require
Not looking
100.
confident. But what does this say about Connor Scutt? It tells you that he is one tenacious little darting machine.
52.
He'll be back for 48 points. And Richie Burnett is staring over the cliff edge in Group B in Champions Week. And at this late stage of this group, he would be the first person eliminated. We've already got one person through. Thornton's got a tick next to his name on my notes here.
99.
Am I about
Connor,
to
you
put a
require
cross
48.
next to the name of Richie Burnett? Double 16.
16.
Not just yet.
Richie, you require 140.
This would be heroic. But it's not going to materialize.
$100.
Is he going to get out of jail?
Connor, you require 30.
Or is Connor going to put him out of his misery? Match start 5. It misses.
16.
How much drama
Richie,
can we
you
take at
require
this early
40.
hour of the morning? Is Richie Burnett going to win? Oh,
20.
my word. He can't believe it hasn't gone in.
Connor, you require
They've
16.
both missed multiple match darts. And back
Game,
comes Connor
shot,
to get it
and the
done
match.
in a
Connor
scratchy
Scutt.
last leg. But we can now definitively say that Richie Burnett has been eliminated. It's a valiant fight from him. But to lose from 3-0 down and 3-1 down, well, 3-0 up and 3-1 up, sorry, over the last couple of days, that is where his challenge faltered. You have to say, Connor Scutt is now on 8 points in the table. We're just going to recalibrate for a couple of minutes, but when we come back, it's going to be Mark Webster and Robert Thornton, with Webster still in the fight. It's coming up after the break. Welcome back to the Online Darts Live League here. And it's going to be very simple to establish who goes through to the finals on Saturday night if we get a certain result in our next match between Mark Webster and Robert Thornton. Webster knows now that he needs to win this match. If he doesn't, he will not be playing later on tonight. Robert knows that he's already there. But if he wins this one, he will do so
First leg
as the winner of Group B.
Game on.
On top of the win, Mark Webster will need
46.
a favour from his fellow Welshman, Jim Williams, to keep Connor Scutt at bay.
96.
Of course, the ideal scenario for Mark is that he wins 4-0 here against Robert Thornton.
81.
That would get him to 8 points and +1. That would,
43.
for a matter of maybe minutes, put him in the top 3. It would put him behind Thornton and Jim Williams.
59.
And then it would be a battle between Scutt and Williams, both on 8 points. And Webster would have to wait to see if his position is strong enough. Let's cross that bridge when we come to it. But we do know
100.
that if Robert wins this game, our 3 in the finals from this group will be Thornton, Williams and Scutt.
80.
This looks tidy.
177.
That is way better than tidy. It's been a decent night for Mark so far. He's picked up 4 points from a possible
59.
6. But the one match he did lose, he lost by 4-0. Double 14. And that is the first leg to Mark Webster. So 1 down for him. And he has 3 more to find. And hopefully for him, it will be 3 more without reply. That's what he's hoping for.
Second leg, it's Robert to throw first.
His biggest issue, though, is that Robert hasn't lost a match tonight.
58.
Started with a win over Richie Burnett by 4-2. And then a very tidy win against Connor Scutt by 4-1. And then that really good game between
81.
himself and Jim Williams, which was 4-3. And if he was looking for the perfect set tonight, Robert's not going to get it.
134.
He's got a 4-1, he's got a 4-2 and a 4-3, but he's not going to get a 4-0 against Mark.
57.
And these guys
99.
go way back. They've known each other a very long time.
140.
And they will feel fairly comfortable playing against each other. But I know that Mark will not be comfortable
61.
in this situation of trying to qualify. Yes, he has qualified recently as a weekly winner. But he's not being exposed to as many pressure situations as Robert
59.
recently.
Robert, you require
He's almost
149.
renewing how it feels to be in this situation.
109. Mark, you require 164.
Didn't scare the 57 with the first start there, and you fancy with Thornton on tops. It's about to be 1-1.
58. Robert, you require 40.
And it
Game
is
shot in
1-1.
the second leg.
Borderline
Robert
predictable
Thornton.
darts from a relaxed Thornton who has found his way into Saturday night. And I'm sure there are a lot of people around the world who are hoping he wins tomorrow night.
Third leg, it's Mark to throw first. Game on.
I say it's tomorrow night. Well, it's actually tonight. The pitfalls of transversing the midnight hour. But here's a good story for you. I'm going to reward you with a story that involves both of these players and your commentator tonight. Back in 2009,
58.
Robert travelled all the way to Australia with Mark to play in the Australian Open in Coogee Bay, New South Wales. Robert made the final. He lost to yours
96.
truly. Then we jetted all the way over to Canada to play in the Canadian Players Championships Festival
93.
in London, Ontario. Beautiful place where we all made some friends.
96.
It was Mark's birthday when we were travelling from Sydney all the way through Los Angeles, Detroit, and into Canadian territory.
100.
And Mark's birthday lasted 33 hours. When we got to Canada, we got him a T-shirt. And we celebrated his birthday a few days later.
96.
And I think he's still got that T-shirt saying, "Happy 33-hour birthday." That was one of my favourite memories of the times I spent with Robert and Mark on tour.
80.
There were some good times.
Mark, you require 92.
Consequently, when we went to Atlanta the following week for the US
52.
Open, it was Mark who beat
Robert,
me in the
you
last
require
16.
170.
But this is 4-2-1. Who'd have thought 12 years
82.
later we'd
Mark,
be
you
doing
require
this?
40.
Webster's at tops now. He had a little glance as to where Robert is.
20.
Maybe
Robert,
he
you
shouldn't have
require
looked.
88.
Does Thornton find a 2-1 lead with a break of throw on double 7?
Game shot in the third leg.
That is a
Robert
little bit
Thornton.
heartbreaking for Mark Webster, who thought he was about to go 2-1 up. But an aggressive try on the 88 checkout is successful for the Thorn.
Fourth leg, it's Robert to throw first. $140.
Seeing as these guys go way back, let's have a little look at some of the matches that they've played in ranking action
97.
in the past. They haven't met since 2018, but they've played each other 12 times, and it's 6-6.
81.
They've played each other in Players' Championships, in UK Open qualifiers. Twice they've played each other in the UK Open.
59.
And in fact, the year that Robert won that tournament, he beat Mark en route to it. That was in the last 64, and he beat him by 9 legs to 7.
81.
The previous year, in 2011, it was Mark's turn to win. And he would go on to lose to James Wade in the semi-finals.
180.
But Webster's not finished yet. That maximum is the first of the game,
133.
but it doesn't give him a finish. Can he find the treble he needs? He doesn't get the 25 to leave the 2 darter,
Robert, you
and
require
Thornton
66.
is inching closer to eliminating Mark.
30.
But not yet.
Mark, you require 82.
Again, he misses the 25, but all is not lost. He has a shot at the bullseye, and only just
57.
misses it.
Robert, you require 36.
Double 9. It's
Game shot in
found
the
by
fourth
Thornton,
leg.
and he only
Robert
needs one
Thornton.
more leg, not just to win this group and to cap off a fine campaign, but to eliminate his long-time pal.
Fifth leg, it's Mark to throw first.
Some of their other meetings have come
140.
in other qualifiers for European Tour events. They've played in the World Cup back in 2010, in the very first World Cup,
96.
when Scotland played Wales in the quarterfinals. Back when Mark really was the best player in Wales.
177.
And one thing is for sure, Webster is not going to give up. The best he can hope for now is to win by 4 legs to 3.
100.
And to get 8 points and -2. Then what he would wish for is a huge win.
140.
A huge win for Jim Williams.
$58. Mark, you require 44.
Motown. 4 tops. Get it? 4 tops.
Game
And he
shot
plants
in the fifth
Motown.
leg. Mark
So,
Webster.
hello, is this what you've been looking for? A little bit of Lionel Richie there. But it is 3-2 now. Can he make it 3-3 to give himself a chance of winning the match at the death?
6 leg. It's Robert to throw first. Game on.
Oh, you saw the expression of Webster in the background there. As soon as the first 2 trebles go in, he's probably thinking to himself, stop it, Robert, stop it.
100.
But he's not stopping.
140.
He is compounding Webster's misery. And that situation that Webster needs to
57.
win this game 4-3 and for Jim to win at least 4-1 is looking like
57.
a very unlikely scenario now. They've both played well in this game. They're both averaging around 92.
140.
But
Robert,
Webster
you
needs
require
a lot of mistakes
124.
from Robert here. Well,
56.
there is the first one. No treble there. Invites Webster in. Needs another.
134.
And he gets another.
Robert, you require 68.
1 dart to eliminate Webster.
48.
Is it going to be 1 or 2
Mark
darts
requires
to
70.
survive? It's going to be 2. And
Game
he
shot in
is
sixth
still
leg.
alive.
Mark
we are going
Webster.
to a 1-leg shootout once again. So if Webster does win this match, he will have to sit down and watch the last match to see if he's still in with a shout for Saturday night.
7th and final leg. It's Mark to
It is
throw
now
first.
confirmed by our production team that if Webster wins this leg on the throw, he needs
90.
Jim Williams to win 4-1 or 4-0 to qualify for Champions League finals.
43.
Has Robert hit the wall at the wrong time? When they played yesterday, Webster won by 4 legs to 2. Is he about to do the double? And he
140.
believes. He beat Robert yesterday with an inferior average, but a better
85.
doubles percentage. Right here, he's the one with the better average and the inferior doubles percentage.
60.
Oh, there's a squint there from Robert.
140.
And he finds a 2 treble visit. We are going to the wire. And the trebles have dried up in
58.
the last 6 darts. And Thornton presses the accelerator with the first dart at least.
81.
And that's
Mark,
a
you
result in
require
the end for Mark. That could have been a lot worse. No treble
58.
in the last 9.
Robert, you require 100.
And he's only 60 in front. Is he going to need to hit this 92?
40.
Maybe.
Mark, you require 92.
What does he want to do? Does he go for broke on the double-double? I think he's done the right thing.
50.
At worst, leave the double.
Robert, you require 112.
But Robert has got tops.
70.
And it misses on the other side this time. So that's 2 match darts that Webster has dodged.
40.
And he now gets 3. And he
Game
wins
shot.
by 4
And the
legs to
match.
3
Mark
to make
Webster.
sure that we go to the wire in the group. He's still alive, but only just. It was a very good game to watch from start to finish. But when you throw in the melting pot, the permutations, it was even better. Webster with a 91.5. Thornton is still through. His job is done, but Webster will have to watch this last match between Scutt and Williams to see if he goes through. Well, it could be the both of them going through or just the one of them. It's Williams and Scutt after this. Hello everyone and welcome back. It is a very complicated scenario going into this last match. I will explain the permutations, but let's get down to the board for the last match between Jim Williams and Connor Scutt. One man is safe. 3 other players are vying for 2 spots that are left in Saturday night. It's between Williams, Scutt and Webster. Burnett is gone. I will explain the scores that give you your qualifiers in a second. But these players just want to win this match.
It's Jim to throw first. Game on.
First things first. Jim Williams is not safe yet. A somewhat perplexing thing when you look at how he's played at certain times in this group.
60.
The only thing that Jim Williams needs to do in this match is to get 1 solitary leg. He gets 1 leg at any point. He's safe for Saturday night.
140.
That's because of his superior leg difference over Connor and Mark Webster. They've all got 8 points right now.
60.
If Jim Williams wins this game by 4 legs to 1, Mark Webster will qualify, and so will Jim. But there is a scenario that is really complex. And funnily enough, it's the exact result that we got between these two yesterday. A 4-2 win for Jim Williams
140
in this match gives us the ultimate digging deep, finding out who goes through scenario. If it does happen again, Connor and Mark Webster will be tied on points, leg difference and legs won, and they will have had 1 win each in their head-to-head record. So then we have to go to the legs won in their games.
180.
We'll come back to that in a second.
Connor, you
because the
require
start of this
100.
match has been very good indeed. How rude am I to talk about permutations when we've got a great darts match on our hands? And Jim Williams is only 61 points away from getting that 1 leg that he requires.
Jimmy requires 61.
Double 18 to qualify. Double 16. Doesn't hit it. And Connor Scutt gets a look at double 16 to take a break of throw in leg 1. And that's what he has. First blood to the sniper. Oh, it's going to get interesting over the next few legs. And Jim surely has to find a leg at some point, doesn't he?
Second leg is Connor to throw first. Game on.
Let's get back to that scenario that if Jim Williams wins 4-2, Connor will qualify if he gets 2 legs.
140.
Even better if he gets the win. He's not going to take Robert Thornton off the top of the table. He looks pretty secure in that position. But if Connor gets 1 more leg, he is there.
140.
Mark Webster needs Jim Williams to win 4 straight legs now. It's unlikely, but we have seen somebody do it in this group. And he goes by the name of Connor Scutt. He did it against Richie Burnett yesterday.
140.
Now is not the time to be rattling off statistics.
100.
And talking about head-to-head records, because this game is all about getting through to Champions League finals. This is what it's all about. Williams has been there before. He's won there before. He's picked up the big check. He beat Fallon Sherrick in that final, and we know what she's
41.
gone on to do since then. She's made a TV final
Connor,
in the Nordic Darts
121.
Masters. She's won the Women's Series Order of Merit. She's going to the Slam. She's going to the Worlds just like Jim is.
81.
But make no mistake, Williams is in a bit of trouble here.
$100. Connor, you require 40.
Double top to double his lead. And this is to qualify. And he's done so. He's got the 2 legs
Connor
he needs.
Scutt.
So he has booked his spot in Saturday night. It's not about getting the win now for him. He does want it, but he has got his job done.
Third leg, it's Jim to throw first. Game on.
Even if he loses the next 4 legs, he's still done enough. You just wonder if he knows that. A lot of these players have got no clue about the permutations before they come into these matches. They just want to play. Ignorance is bliss. Now, Mark Webster now has only one scenario left.
100.
If he is to get through. He now needs Connor Scutt to win the next 2 legs. At the expense of Jim Williams.
60.
It's not that Jim has played poorly in this match so far. You look at his average. It's 101, but Connor's is 107.
180.
What is happening here? After what we saw from Williams yesterday, it was inconceivable that he could be eliminated at some point. But that 180 from him was defiant in its nature. It came from a world-class dart player who maybe knows that
41.
he needs just the 1 leg to get through.
Jimmy require 127.
He's got 6 darts to get it done. And if he does find it, everything is sewn up.
95.
He decides not to go for the bullseye. I think that was prudent. He's going to get 3 clean darts to polish off leg number 3 to qualify for Saturday night alongside Connor and Robert Thornton, and Mark Webster will be
50.
toast.
Jimmy require 32.
Is it so? Double 8. And Jim Williams is going to the Champions League finals alongside Connor Scutt. Robert Thornton has already booked his ticket, and 3 other players have done it, so our lineup is now complete.
Fourth leg, it's Connor to throw first. Game on.
I suppose the only thing to talk about now, apart from the winner of this match, is the position of yourself in this table in Group B stipulates which group you will be in on Saturday night.
140.
We will give you an indication on social media via Facebook, Instagram and Twitter once play is completed as to who is in which group.
58.
I'm sure Mark Webster is very disappointed. He's had a good night tonight. Picked up 3 wins out of 4.
100.
But the damage was done yesterday. Only picking up 2 points on Thursday. It was a valiant try. But 2 Welsh players have been eliminated from this group and only
80.
1 has progressed. So the only Welsh progression from the groups have come from Mike Warburton and from Jim Williams. And the one man standing who can still get 2 phase wins
140.
to date in 2021 is the man in yellow in this match. He won phase 3. Will he win phase 5?
59.
He might win leg 4.
Jimmy require 121. 57.
Just edges towards the finishing line in this 4th leg. And that double 16 bed is probably calling his name once again.
81. Jimmy requires 64.
Treble 16 will leave double 8. But double 16 is calling his name.
32.
We know that Connor likes a 1-2-7.
Connor, you require 127.
He hit one yesterday on the bull against Richie Burnett. 57 in bull. Looks like it's going to be tied after 4. I don't mean to tempt fate,
Jimmy,
but I fully expect Jim to hit this. And I was right.
4th leg. Jim
It's all about bragging rights now. And of course, the winner of this match will go into a certain group. And I now have the information at hand about the groups for Saturday night. So let's go into leg 5 and I'll explain a little bit more.
5th leg with Jim to throw first. Game on.
So Group 1 for Saturday night Champions Week finals starting at 10 p.m. on Sporty Stuff TV. You will have Ryan Furness,
140.
Mike Warburton, and the winner of this match. The other group, Thornton, Sean Griffiths, the winner of Group C, and the loser of this match.
93.
They will not know how the groups have panned out. They just want to win this match. They want to get to 10 points. And see how the chips fall after that.
140.
But I don't think that one group is harder than the other. I'm being brutally honest there. With Thornton and Griffiths in Group 2 and Furness and Warburton in the other, I think it's a 50-50 call.
78.
The most important thing is that both of them will be here. They will both get a bonus for qualifying for finals.
60.
But they will not have
Jimmy
any
require
other number on their mind
143.
apart from the big bonus of 6,000. 51 for 32. Possible.
Game
and
shot
done.
in the 5th leg.
Another ton plus checkout from Jim Williams. He has been phenomenal in ton plus checkouts the last couple of days. By far and away the better finisher of all of the players in this group. That is something we will talk about tomorrow night
100.
for sure. Just going to send out a bit of a congratulations at this point for 2 young men on the development tour today. The PDC who run a fabulous tour for players under the age of 25, of which Connor is just a little bit too old now. But a win today for Bradley Brooks, who won development tour number 8 over Jared Cole, who came precariously close to winning a phase here this year.
140.
And many congratulations to Ted Everts, who won the other one today, and there will be more development tour action this weekend. So good luck to everybody who's taking part.
60.
Jim Williams could do the double over Connor Scutt by 4 legs to 2 again if he converts 221 in 6 to 9 darts.
45.
And as a result, Connor will qualify, but only by one solitary leg of darts that he won against Mark Webster. Not even on leg difference. Not
96.
on legs won overall, but legs he won in his games with Webster. It's the finest possible margin you can qualify by.
85.
Maybe he wants to try and win this game from this position. It's still possible.
120.
More possible now that he's hit that 1-2-1.
Jimmy require 91.
But it's up to this man. Can he full stop the night? With 16 and bull. Bullseye is open.
66.
But he can't full stop it. On the button.
Connie requires 64.
So to take us all the way, it's 88. And we're going all the way in this one.
Connor
It's going to be one more leg for your entertainment tonight, live on Sporty Stuff TV with me, Paul the Ascent Nicholson. So without further ado, let's go into the hockey for the last leg.
7th and final leg. It's Jim to throw first. Game on.
Here's the man they call the Quiff.
97.
I don't think it's the strongest nickname, I'm not going to lie. I like Sniper. The military feel to the sleeves and part of the shirt here. I think it's pretty good.
97.
But the Quiff? The jury is out on that one. But it has stuck with him for quite some time. I don't think he's going to change it now.
45.
I do like his dart shirt, though. If he was playing against Scott Williams, there'd be a lot of black and yellow going along. Let's not forget the
60.
highlights that Scott Williams gave us in the last game of Group C this afternoon, where his last 5 darts of this session were a blind 180. That's where you score 60-60, and you look away on the third dart for the
60.
maximum. And then he had 76 left after that, and hit double 18 double top. Just showing us what he could possibly do. But he didn't qualify.
100.
These two have. Got to go down.
140.
And he's left a bogey number. Silly Jim. He's not been punished for it, and he's got 6 darts from here to get the win by 4 legs to 3. Great stuff.
127.
Superb to leave 32 after 15. And he looks ready to get himself in the second position in this table, because now it is confirmed
60.
that Robert Thornton has won this group.
Jimmy requires 32.
So for the silver medal position in Group B, he
Game,
finds double
shot,
16
and
and he
the
wraps
match,
up the
Jim
win.
Williams.
They've both qualified now. I'm sure they both know it, but if they don't, they're about to find out. Jim Williams ends up averaging over 100 for the very first time tonight after getting 3 ton plus averages yesterday. Connor Scutt, 50% on the checkouts, a decent display, but he did just about enough to qualify on legs 1. Thank you for your company this evening. I know that we've run a little bit late, but it was worth it in the end because we took it to the wire. We will have more for you from the Online Darts Live League from 10 p.m. on Saturday night. I hope you can join us. I've been Paul the Ascent Nicholson. I'm signing out for now, but see you on Saturday night at 10 p.m.